Hello folks, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. As you can tell from my voice, it's very early morning. I just woke up a while ago and I'll be doing 2 videos back to back today. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to upload them, but this episode, very first episode, I want to talk about back to the days, good old days where I used to do morning thoughts. Just share a few things, this kind of videos usually don't, they don't involve fragrances, just some things that I think of life, and then some realization, some things I think it's important to discuss. It's just my own thoughts just with you guys, because I have the audience and some of you guys actually like to connect. I'd like to connect, because there's a lot more than fragrances in life, and especially this is fragrance channel that I would review, but sometimes I'd like to talk about few things here and there. So anyway, scent of the morning, first of all, is YSL L'Homme. I haven't applied anything yet, but it's a very comforting, beautiful scent, which I'm about to review in second video of the day. So let me put some of it on. 1, 2, maybe 1 in the hand. Yeah, just let me enjoy, not too much. So yes, this fragrance is my last acquisition of the last month, and I have plenty to say about this. If you're waiting to see a review, check that review. All right, second video. Yeah, okay, now I smell nice and I'm in mood for talking. So today I want to cover one very important topic, okay? This topic would be actually very much on honesty. Very simple concept, right? Very simple. So it's honesty. Yeah, I know honesty. Many of you are thinking honesty is just a simple thing. It's just nothing new, nothing exciting, and this is too simple. If you feel that way, you can skip the video, no problem. I'm just sharing my thoughts here. So I'm going to talk about why honesty is important in our life, all right? Or rather, in our lives. As human beings, let me clarify a few things, then you'll understand which angle I'm coming from. First of all, I am trying to be always a moderate person, I'm not a very extreme of anything. If I'm extreme of something, that would be I'm extreme of loving and collecting fragrances. That I'm very extreme in, because I really love this line. But apart from that, in lifestyle, I always try to believe moderation is the best way to go. And yes, I am a Muslim. At the same time, I'm not a very close-minded person. I believe in humanity. I think that's the best. If you do not have humanity, there's no religion in you, first of all. Second of all, I'm not supremely religious in that way that many people are, and I do respect people who are religious. And also I respect people who do not believe in a religion. It's also okay, no problem. I don't have any issue with anyone. So my thing is, I still think in my heart somewhere that I really fear God, and I believe there is a God, and I am religious in that way, and I always seek His help. I'll give you some example as I go, and actually how I know that there is a God. That is just my personal view. You can take it as you want to, all right? But why honesty is important to me is that I think it's everything in life. It's everything. You are here not knowing a lot of facts, right? In the world, when you are here, you have a lot of questions and confusions. You would like to think, like, where did I come from? Do I believe in God? Is there a God? A lot of wrong things happening in the world. Is He not watching? You may not get all the answers, because many of us, we are kind of lost. Today's world, I can definitely say that we are lost. Many of us have depression, and we don't have a purpose apart from worldly gains. We are working so hard for our well-being, making money, and other stuff. Even I'm not gonna say I'm out of this. Yeah, I'm trying so hard as well, running the race, because without making money, you cannot be happy. So that's the normal phenomena. But we actually think money would make us happier, being richer, having a lot of properties is going to make us happier. We work so hard for it, and then we think it's going to lead to our happiness. Okay, so whole thing is actually, everything in life is interconnected. From me, I'm sort of like, I'm going to sound like a preacher, but it's just my own preaching. Nothing from any influenced by any school of thoughts or anything. But I think of this, like I realized this when I'm like now 36, I'm going to be 37. I realized this at this point of my life, that happiness has Sometimes something to do with gaining something. Yes, it does make you happy. You buy something, a new fragrance, or let's say something you wanted so long, it makes you happy. But at the same time, happiness doesn't come from only money. If you are lonely, if you do not have friends, if you do not have love in your life, if you do not have people that respect you, you don't have a social status, like, you know, you're well respected in the community, it's all these things matters. And if you do not do any charitable, like charities, you know, like if you do not help out people out there, you don't share your wealth or happiness, and you're always thinking like, you know, what's wrong going on in my life. I'll give you an example. Recent days, I was going through last month, like I do a small decanting page, you guys know that, and I don't want to do anything else because I want to spend all my time in fragrances, trying out, buying, and reviewing new fragrances, and I do decanting as well. So this thing, if you actually count on something, it's actually not a very solid procedure. It's not like it's going to ensure you like salary in terms of like end of the month. No, job like secures that sort of a salary concept. But when you do a small business kind of thing from home, like a very small business, this one actually has no like credible earning or anything. So thing is, anyway, what I'm trying to share here is, there's last month there was 6 days, continuous 6 days. It's like second worst. Like 1 month I had also 10 days no sales. And when you do not have the cash coming, you cannot buy a new fragrance. Okay, and I was very upset. I couldn't buy the food I wanted, a lot of things. I couldn't go out, even my friends call me. So all thing made me very upset, and I couldn't pay off the money I borrowed from my sister and whatever. Anyway, then I prayed to God, like when I was walking. It happened not only once, it happened quite a few times in my life. And I was walking and I was like thinking, I just give up. I just give up. God help me. That's it. I was thinking in my head. I was at the point of breaking down. Yes, because this is the life we're living today. Yeah. Unfortunately, see, we're all victimized. I'm not out of it. I'm not gonna say that I'm that extraordinary person that money doesn't matter. It does. But yeah, we are just very normal people. Then I found some ways that I felt like, even though I don't have much cash left in my hand, I had only like, let's say in your US dollars, I have only $10 left, okay? And I spent some of it. I'm not bragging or anything, just saying it, how it happened. I spent some of it, I donated to some poor people and some beggars, some old people. And I just came, I felt really good. And I felt really good. I came home and I knew that, in my heart, I feel at peace, like, no, I did something good. Even if I'm not okay right now financially, I'm okay. You get that feeling when you donate. You'll see how good it feels, and I didn't do to change my life or anything, but I kind of prayed that, like if I help someone, maybe I'll get in return something. That very same day, I was just sitting there like waiting. There was no hope. 6 days, no business, right? So highly likely 7 days gonna be the same. And this guy, he is one of our group members. He's like, bro, I need some decants. And he took $80 worth of decants. I'm just sharing the story. It's nothing fancy, nothing made up. It's a story from my life. And I couldn't believe it. Tears came to my eye. And I was talking to my girlfriend. I was telling her, and then she was so happy. And she's like, see, you have to keep patience and stuff. And good things will happen. So what my observation is, if you're actually true to yourself, if you're honest, if you give yourself up and you are not trying to be God, you're not trying to be playing God, you're not trying to be controlling your life. You don't control your life at all. You cannot control anything in life. Your fate and future is always, uncertain. I believe there is a karma. There is a good thing that if you do good things will happen to you. If you stay honest in that way, that even if you're not super pious, let's say you don't pray, whatever, at times, but you always feel there's a fear, there's a God, and He's watching. And you must have come from somewhere. You didn't just drop from the sky, right? So the process started long ago. And we all have different kind of religion and different cultures and everything, but I believe we're all same. Human beings, we're all same. And we have a limited time on this world. We are born, and in the mid, we just live our life, enjoy, and that last stage, mostly when you get older, we realize that there's an afterlife, and we have to be doing some charity and good work with everything that we did in life. But basically what also happens is we chase after happiness, that kind of money, fortune, the status in society. But we actually realize at the end of the life, when you're old, that we just spent all our youth behind this thing, and we didn't really enjoy anything good. We didn't do many things that it was in our bucket list, and we wish we had longer time left. These are the things that I think of sometimes, and I see people. I'm just going to give you one thing. one example. I see people being dishonest all the time just to make little bit money, just to get a little bit upper hand, a little bit famous, a little bit more business. And I've seen it done by people who supposedly pray 5 times a day, which I don't. I'm not that religious, but I pray to God every single time, like in that way. I believe that God has all the control and He is the one only who can change your fortune. If you do not have luck by your side, even if you don't believe in God, if you do not have luck by your side, you cannot do anything. You cannot win games. You cannot win anything in life. You cannot have happiness. You cannot be always, no matter how much, whatever you have, you're never going to be happy. So I noticed that some of the people, they actually do anything just to get some sales, and when they do not have it, they just go spread around rumors. They they tell lies, and they say that there's no proof that can prove me that I have done this wrong or I lied or anything like that. Okay? And when they do that, you know what it means? That they are lying, they know it. The person who actually know that they are lying, they know it. And there's a God who he is praying to 5 times a day religiously. He knows it, right? So in that way, let's say there's someone's clashing with me, and then they say that they accuse me, which is happening sometimes with 1 or 2 guys. They're trying to trying their best to spread rumors, because when you do this, many countries, they will spread rumors because they didn't get the benefit out of you, and someone didn't, you didn't promote them. So people sometimes, don't take it very easy. They just go after you. They're just silly. Their limited knowledge makes them think that, let's go after this guy, let's try to harm him. So when you're gonna try to harm a person who's telling the truth, and you know it, and you know that you are at fault, and you still push it, you keep doing sins, all right? It's all written. For me, I have no problem that if dishonest guys and people who are lying, and they are conveniently from here and there, they're trying to show proof, going to people, try to prove to people, it doesn't make any impact in my life. My belief is that strong. I go pray before I go to sleep, and I wake up. Today I didn't say thanks, thank God. And every time I get a new day, I say thanks. All right. So that's the way I live. Many of you don't know that. I'm very much in that, and the beard doesn't represent that. Beard is just for my own satisfaction. My hair and beard, it's just like my look that I go with, the vintage look, right? It is nothing to do with my religious sentiments. Okay. So in the end, what I'm trying to say is, no matter what you try to do to good people, honest people, people who are doing their own thing, minding their own business, but they actually also criticize, and they go after people who are trying to harm, let's say, other people also, their friends. I believe we have to be socially aware, not just live selfish, like, oh, someone not bothering me, but bothering the kids, beating up a dog, or telling lies about other sellers, talking about other people, which is not true. You have to go defend those people. This is, as Muslim or human being, this is our duty. Okay. And when I do it, I often get bashed, and the people I sometimes defend, some of these people do not remember it. They actually also harm me. So I know all this. I have this ongoing depression sometimes when I see such low sides in human beings. All right. And then it goes away also after some time. But people know that very well who they're messing with. They're messing with a guy who is passionate about their work, his work, my work, and also who's just doing community work by loving fragrances and trying to make this very good habit, or good hobby sort of, to get away from bad habits and focus into something that really you can love and it's harmless. Okay. Sometimes not so much, because you spend a lot of money. But I'm sorry, the video is gonna run a little long, but I want to say these things. All right. So my point is, end of the day, when I see these people just blindly running after worldly gains, and they're praying 5 times a day, they're very religious. They have even a mark here because they're so religious. They rock beard and portray in the society, I'm very religious. I know in my heart that these people are failing at life. They should rethink. If you are watching, you should rethink what you're doing. If you do not live an honest life, this is where honesty comes. I didn't talk about honesty on my video. I talked about other stuff. This is where honesty comes. End of the day, you're going to die one day, and you're going to die knowing that you have committed a sin to harm others. When you try to hurt others' properties, or the others' rights, or others' happiness, after your death, if you are a believer, true believer, you have done that, committed the sin. And I know one thing in my heart. I know this thing here. When I say something about a fragrance, I do not just pick up things random from a street. I do not just go pick up some shit, based on hype. I always try to put my nose. I try to take risk. I try to understand. And then I tell you guys who are watching fragrance reviews, I try to tell you the honest opinion that I felt. It may not be the best review, it may not be it may not suit your taste, it may vary from your taste, but at least I know I'm giving you my honest opinion, how I felt about it. That's where the honesty comes. There's integrity, there's dignity. It comes with not only education, you have to develop this in your head. Otherwise, what's the difference between you and an animal, you know, who doesn't have that much, you know, I don't want to say that they don't have any judgment, but as human beings, we are smarter than them, right? So what I'm trying to say, let's end this. I think honesty is very important because we're not going to live forever. We're just going to die one day, and we'll just realize if we have done wrong to someone, it will come back to us, because karma always bites us, you know. Karma is such a thing. It doesn't leave anyone. It doesn't leave anyone. You, me, President of United States, Bangladesh, India, no matter how powerful you are, you're going to die one day. That is the fact. And if you die knowing that you have done something wrong to people, and you just don't look at yourself in the mirror, you just think that you're trying to play God, trying to be playing powerful, you know, think again, because you may cause inconvenience to people for a few days, but it will come back to haunt you for a number of years. It's gonna just make you unhappy. Okay, try to do good stuff. If you cannot do any good stuff, try not to do any bad things. All right, try to stay away from people's path, let them do their work. Think again, because how much time you got left in life? Actually, maybe one more day, maybe one more minute. There is no certainty, right? So that's why I believe honesty is important. If you're honest, you're gonna be okay. That's the basic thing I'm trying to say. So that's all I have for today, and I hope that long talk, someone would actually listen, and then I would like to know your thoughts actually, and I would like to respond back to you. All right, take care guys, have a nice day, and let me now go do the review of Wa Salom. Let's see how that works. Take care guys, have a nice day, bye bye.